Yueling became serious after listening to Ning Tian's demands. And seeing her, Ning Tian asks Yueling, Princess Yueling, what do you mean? So Yueling tells, the Thunder Heart fruit tree only produces dozens of Thunder Heart fruit in 1,000 years. It's very precious, even our royal family can't get it easily. But since it's fellow Taoist Ning Shuai's request, I will try my best to get it for you. And Ning Tian becomes happy after listening to Yueling and he says, how about adding a heaven-rank martial arts skill and 10 billion spirit cons too? And Yueling says, will you ask for me next? And Ning Tian says, this won't do, my wife will come and stab me. And when Yueling hears that Ning Tian is a married man she gets surprised. And she also gets excited and she asks Ning Tian, fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, do you really have a wife? Who is she? What does she look like? So Ning Tian tells about his wife. My wife is the heavenly demonic sex Empress. And when Yueling hears about Ning Tian's wife she gets surprised. Then she laughs a little and says to Ning Tian, fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, don't joke around. If the Empress is really your wife, then the legendary patriarch of the heavenly demonic sect is my husband. And Ning Tian says, the patriarch is your husband? How didn't I know of this? And Yueling says, what? If you can say the Empress is your wife, why can't I say the patriarch is my husband? He's handsome and is known through legendary tales, he's an idol worshipped by thousands of girls. Who doesn't want such a husband? And Ning Tian says, that's right, the patriarch is indeed handsome, just like me. And Yueling says, so confident, fellow Taoist Ning Shuai is truly amazing. Then Yueling gives Ning Tian a token and says to him, this is the entrance and exit token for the forbidden area. Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai can move freely. I'll be waiting for you at the Mirror Moon Pavilion. And then Ning Tian hears someone's voice. And when he looks back, Holy Sun and Yuqin both are drinking and enjoying a lot. And Yuqin says to Holy Sun, how about it, Tianbao Holy Sun, the horse meat is nice, right? And Holy Sun says, this is the best meat I have ever eaten. Tomorrow, I will bring all the horses from Tianbao Holy Land to you. We'll open a shop called. Then both of them stand on the table and start laughing loudly. And Ning Tian's face turns pale after seeing them. Then Ning Tian starts taking Holy Sun with him, and Yuqin says goodbye to both of them. After a while Ning Tian comes to his room and sits down to do cultivation. But he is not able to do cultivation because Holy Sun is snoring and sleeping. But Ning Tian starts doing cultivation by concentrating and he thinks, I'm going to the Supreme Secret Realm tomorrow, so I should seize this chance to practice and improve. And then a very bright light starts going towards the sky from Ning Tian's room, which is visible from a very far distance. And a man is watching this power and he says, the divine moon phenomenon, I didn't think the supreme legend was true. According to the legend, the Supreme Emperor once left a treasure in a secret realm, and the divine moon phenomenon is a sign of the treasure's appearance. As long as I get this treasure, there's no way they can compete with me for the throne. And he is the eldest prince, Qin Hadran. Next day Ning Tian goes to the pavilion to meet Yueling, but two soldiers stop Ning Tian from entering the pavilion. So Ning Tian shows them a token and they get surprised and say, it's Princess Yueling's distinguished guest. I apologize for the offense, please enter. And Ning Tian now starts entering the pavilion and there are many people inside the pavilion and Ning Tian thinks, why are there so many people? And Yueling looks at Ning Tian and she says, fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, I have been waiting for you for a long time. And as soon as some people see Ning Tian, they get surprised and they don't understand who that man is. And another man says, is he Princess Yueling's guest? He looks ordinary, and Yueling says, today's the day of the Supreme Secret Realm's opening. So, all the princes and princesses who can compete for the right of succession will bring their people here. And then we see that a man is running very fast on his horse, and he comes inside the pavilion along with the horse. And seeing two horses in front of them, those people get very scared. And then both of them come in front of the people and the lady sitting next to that man says, you can't even avoid a carriage, trash, get out of here right now. Don't get in Big Brother's way. And Ning Tian asks Yueling, who are these arrogant people? So Yueling tells, this is the eldest prince Qin Haoren, and his sister Qin Yueme. They are siblings of the same mother. Qin Haoren, the first son of the Lord of the Supreme Divine Kingdom, is just one step away from reaching the celestial realm. He's also one of my biggest opponents. Before we get the item, it's best to have a head-on confrontation with him. And then a dangerous pressure starts mounting on them, due to which they bend on their knees. And Yu-Chin is not able to breathe properly, seeing which Yueling tells her, it's the third Uncle Qin Feng. He's a powerful immortal emperor. It's understandable to not be able to withstand this pressure. He's an immortal emperor. But why aren't you reaching at all? And Ningtian says, yes, I'm in shock. There are so many masters around me, do I need to reach all the time? Then we see third uncle who has dangerous spiritual power coming out of him. Then he comes in front of the people and says to them, is everyone here? Third uncle, we can say that everyone is here, we can open the supreme secret realm. Then uncle takes out the crystal stone. Seeing this, Ningtian thinks, the crystal stone contains a lot of aura, but the output is small, making it very precious. The Supreme Divine Kingdom has such a big piece, the opening of the Supreme Secret Realm comes at a high price. And now because of the stone the Supreme Secret Realm starts opening, and seeing this Ningtian thinks, the Supreme Secret Realm is opening. And uncle says, open this door and enter the Secret Realm. By the way, the Secret Realm lasts for 2 days. When the time is up, you'll be teleported back. There's no need to deliberately try to go further into its depths, just focus on becoming stronger. Then Qin Yuemei says, a bunch of trash, you want to become stronger? And they both start going inside the Supreme Secret Realm, and seeing them Ningtian says, so arrogant, why didn't you steal their horse too? I think his precious horse is also nice. And Yu-Chin says, although your suggestion is good, big bad guy, I, Yu-Chin, am a disciple of the Misty Sect. How could I do such a thing as stealing horses? And Ningtian says, Misty? I haven't heard of this sect. Princess Yueling, you as well? And Yueling says, yes, and the Misty Sect isn't in the heavenly spiritual domain, but in the heavenly sky domain, which is far away from the Supreme Divine Kingdom. It's normal for fellow Taoist Ning Shuai to not know about it. And Ningtian understands all that Yueling says. Then Yueling asks him to go inside, and Ningtian thinks, she's clearly a princess in this domain. So why would she join the Misty Sect in the distant heavenly sky domain? Whatever, I will learn about it later. And as soon as they go to the second Supreme Secret Realm, they are completely shocked to see the scene in front. But then Ningtian does not have ground under his feet, he is in the air, so he starts falling down. And he falls on the ground with a lot of force, due to which a pit is formed on the ground. And Yueling and Yu-Chin come down very easily, and Yu-Chin says, Senior sister, I hope he didn't fall to his death. And Yueling says, it would be a shame. Fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, although you have failed, I will wait until the secret realm ends, and I will burn a few pretty paper wives for you. But Ningtian is fine, and he sits down. Then he says, I suddenly lost balance and couldn't react for a moment. That's terrifying. And seeing Ningtian safe and sound, both of them get very shocked. And Ningtian checks his face whether his mask is okay or not. And he thinks, good thing that my face hit the floor first, otherwise I would have been in pieces. And Yueling says, fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, are you okay? Also she thinks, at a height of several thousand meters, I managed to keep my balance at the last moment. He is an Earth King and fell hard to the ground, but he's not hurt at all. And then the system says to Ningtian, you shocked Princess Yueling. You shocked Yu-Chin. Reward, Beast Tamer has been upgraded. Host can now tame 4th level beasts. And Ningtian thinks, a 4th level beast is equivalent to a human in the Earth King realm. Being able to control such a beast is worth the fall. Then Ningtian says, I'm okay. It's worthy of being called the Supreme Secret Realm. The aura is clearly richer than outside. And Yueling says, yes, this is also a very suitable place for cultivation. And then Ningtian notices something, and he looks ahead and says, what's that? A little dragon man? So Yueling laughs and says, what? Little dragon man? This is the demon general that the supreme ancestor of the Supreme Divine Kingdom killed hundreds of years ago. He's carved into a stone statue and placed here. But Ningtian says to the system, why didn't I know there are demons in this world? Aren't there only humans and beasts? So the system says, host, Your original body is just a man deemed as a minor character. The knowledge he has of the heavenly profound world is not complete. And Yueling says, fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, you and the holy son of Tianbao look close, but don't you know about the demon general of the demon clan? And Yuqin says, yes, are you actually from the heavenly profound world? So Ningtian laughs and says, I usually only focus on cultivation, I rarely care for worldly affairs, so. And Yueling says, in this world, there are thousands of races, but after the Dark Riot, a three-way confrontation between the humans race, demon race, and the beast race was formed. Each one of them guards their own territory. For example, the heavenly spiritual domain is controlled by the human race. The heavenly sky domain is mostly beasts. And the demon generals of the demon race are comparable to the god realm humans. And Yuqin says, I really envy your heavenly spiritual domain, it's not like our heavenly sky domain. We have to go out every now and then to carry out sect missions and exterminate beasts. It's so annoying. And Ningtian says, so, what's this dark riot? So Yueling says, I'm not sure about this, but this is how it's recorded in the ancient records. And Yuqin says, it's too long ago, I heard it happened millions of years ago. Then Yueling points to one side and says to Ningtian, fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, after passing this statue, the lightning cliff is right in front. What I am looking for is there. And when they look at the sky, there is purple thundering in the sky. And seeing that, Yueling says, fellow Taoist Ning Shuai, this is as close as we can get. And Ningtian asks, hey so, what do I do now? So Yueling says, fellow Taoist Ning Shuai just needs to pass through this minefield and take the item in the purple light sphere. And then a thunder falls in front of them and Ningtian says, to enter this scorched minefield with your physics, and then resist purple lightning. Also he thinks, no wonder the princess didn't succeed. This scorched minefield alone is enough to make one celestial realm suffer. Not to mention, the purple lightning on the cliff is even more terrifying than these ones. But Yuqin gets a little nervous and says, senior sister, do we really need to do this? It would be terrible if the big bad guy was electrocuted and turned into a piece of charcoal. So Yueling says, although you performed well on the Thunder Wind 9-step terrace, you're still an Earth King, fellow Taoist Ning Shuai. You can just do your best. Even if you fail, I will still give you the Thunder Heart fruit as promised. And Ningtian says, I don't like to owe favors to others. Since I promised, I'll do it. And now Ningtian's respect increases even more in Yueling's eyes. Then we see both of them and Qin Yueme says, I wondered who's so arrogant to want to seize the treasure of the lightning cliff. So it's you, big sister, why did you get a kid at the Earth King realm as your aide? Could it be that he's your kept gigolo? Bring him to such a dangerous place, aren't you afraid he would die? And Qin Yueme's story hearing this, Yueling gets angry. But Ningtian gets even angrier than her due to which he starts moving rapidly towards both of them. And seeing this both of them get very nervous and Ningtian tells them both, it only takes one mouth to spread a rumor, but it takes a lot of effort to refute it, do you understand? And Qin Yueme gets very nervous because Ningtian has slapped Qin Yueme hard on her face. And seeing this her brother gets very angry and says, you dare to do this right in front of me, looks like you're tired of living. And to take revenge Qin Haoran attacked Ningtian. But Ningtian is standing very calmly and Qin Haoran gets shocked and he thinks, what? He was able to dodge it at such a close distance? He can actually move freely under Qin Haoran's command, and the system tells Ningtian, you shocked the eldest prince Qin Haoran. You shocked Princess Yueling. You shocked Yujin. Reward, Tao of Music, the Song of Thunder Tribulation. A song to overcome a thunder tribulation, played using the Tao of Music, it can absorb the divine thunder Tao rhythm in the thunder tribulation. And Ningtian thinks, I didn't expect such a pleasant surprise to come. And Qin Yueme says, brother, look at his face, kill him right away. And Qin Haoran thinks, this kid is not simple. I haven't gotten the treasure yet, but a random battle is consuming my power already. Why don't I let him explore the Thunder Cliff to see if he can find any traces of the treasure? Then Qin Haoran says, Yueling, we're siblings after all. And if that guy is one of your men, I don't mind giving you a favor. If he can pass the Thunder Cliff alone, we will leave it at that. How about it? And Ningtian says, sure, it's a promise. Plus he thinks, after all, you're the Supreme Divine Kingdom's eldest son. It would have been different if I didn't wish to offend the kingdom and cause trouble for my wife. If you can pass the Thunder Cliff alone, will we leave it at that? And Qin Haoren thinks, you brat, even if you have a secret method, you're still at the Earth King realm. The power of the Thunder Cliff is enough to kill you thousands of times. And Ning Tian starts moving forward, and as he is moving forward, the thunder pressure was increasing. And Yuqin gets a little surprised and she says, this big bad guy looks so calm. And Qin Haoren says, it's just the start. The very center of the scorched earth minefield contains a strong shock from the Supreme Ancestor. And Ning Tian says to the system, is there really a Supreme Ancestor who left behind the Divine Thunder Tao rhythm? And the system says, naturally, the host can use his Song of Thunder Tribulation to sense and absorb it. And Ning Tian takes out the absolute Yuqin, but he thinks this won't be simple. And Yuqin is a little surprised and she says, is he still interested in playing music at such a moment? And Yueling says, he actually took out a magical weapon. Fellow Taoist Ning Shui is not simple. Then Ning Tian starts playing the absolute Yuqin, and due to this the Thunder Tribulation gets activated. And the Thunder Tribulation starts falling on Ning Tian, which is very dangerous. And the thunder takes the form of a dragon, seeing as Yueling says, it's the Divine Thunder Tao rhythm. He actually activated the rhythm left by the Supreme Ancestor during the Thunder Tribulation. And another man is watching Thunder Tribulation, and his name is Xiao Yao, and he says, it's not easy to control the Thunder Dragon with the Tao of music, that's amazing. And a very dangerous thunder starts falling on Ning Tian. Then Yueling says to Xiao Yao, even the Xiao Yao Holy Son is interested. And Xiao Yao says the Thunder Dragon is so strong that it might be related to the legendary treasure of Xinhui. Of course I won't miss this. And Qin Haoren thinks, if the legendary treasure really appears, don't blame me for being cruel. And the Thunder Dragon starts moving towards Ning Tian, and Ning Tian thinks, these lightning bolts are attracted to the sound and gather together. I will catch them in one go. And Ning Tian also attacks the Thunder Dragon with lightning bolts, which stops the Thunder Dragon. And Yuqin gets surprised seeing this, and she says oddly, why do the lightning bolts seem to get smaller and smaller? And Xiao Yao says, he's refining the Thunder Tribulation Dragon. And Qin Haoren gets shocked, and he says, he actually wanted to absorb the Divine Thunder rhythm left by the Supreme Ancestor. And Yueling says, could it be that, as the third uncle said, he actually had stepped onto the 9th step of the Thunder Wind 9-step terrace? And Ning Tian starts increasing his power, due to which the Thunder Dragon is getting weaker. But still Ning Tian is not stopping. And the system says to Ning Tian, congratulations to the host for absorbing the Divine Thunder Tao rhythm, and reaching a new level in the Thunder Wind Tao. Thunder Wind Tao has reached a peak stage. Host can master the strong power of lightning attack. You shocked the Supreme Divine King's eldest prince Qin Haoren. You shocked Princess Yueling. You shocked Yu Jin. You shocked the holy son of Xiao Yao, Zhuge Yu. You shocked everyone. Advanced achievements, the Song of Thunder Tribulation. Reward, Celestial Realm EXP card. Celestial Realm EXP card. After using it, the host can gain celestial power for 2 days. After using it, this card is invalid, and Ning Tian says this reward isn't bad. And then thunder starts falling on the top of the mountain. Seeing what Ning Tian says, that must be what Princess Yueling wants. And Ning Tian starts moving towards the peak, and he tries to catch the thing that is on top of the peak, and he says, oh, you still want to resist? And Ning Tian catches that thing. And we see that this is the Divine Thunder Skill Book, and Ning Tian says, Advanced Earth Rank Skill Divine Thunder. So what the princess wanted was to cultivate the Divine Thunder Tao like me. Then Ning Tian shows that Divine Thunder Skill Book to Yueling and says, Princess Yueling, I got what you wanted. But then some movement starts and Ning Tian starts looking back. And Yueling panics and says to Ning Tian, Ning Shui, watch out. And Qin Haoren thinks, could it be that the legendary treasure is being revealed? And Ning Tian looks back and sees someone behind him, and she says, it's been tens of thousands of years. Finally there is someone who is able to awaken my imperial soul that remains in the supreme secret realm. And this is a supreme ancestor. And seeing the supreme ancestor, everyone starts greeting the Supreme Ancestor. And the Supreme Ancestor says to Ningtian, "You won't give your greetings and bow?" So Ningtian says, "You are just a remnant soul, what are you talking about?" And Ningtian is standing in front of the Supreme Ancestor, and Yueling thinks, Master Ning Shui somehow awakened the old ancestor's soul, what type of god is he? And Qin Haoren thinks, I never thought there would still be any souls of his direct ancestors here. He must have some sort of connection with the legend of the Divine Moon's treasure. And the Supreme Ancestor says, an insignificant yellow-haired brat dares to be this arrogant. But then the Supreme Ancestor notices something and thinks, wait, on the brat's body, the Emperor's energy is there? With the great Emperor's protection, it seems like the descendants who didn't go into the heavenly spiritual domain did not slack off either. The country's power is definitely getting stronger by the day. And the Supreme Ancestor says, whatever, since you're the one who awakened me, a direct ancestor, I won't look further into this. And Ningtian says, when did I awaken you? And the Supreme Ancestor says, you don't know? Thousands of years ago, I left the legend of the Divine Moon, which said, sweep the snowstorms, and the souls of the deceased awaken. And Qin Haoren thinks, so the treasure in the legend of the Divine Moon is something our direct ancestors really left? And Ningtian says, never heard of it before. And the Supreme Ancestor says, you brat, looking at your bones and energy, it's a 1 in a trillion talent, and I have a secret book for you. And Ningtian laughingly says, ha ha ha, you old man, your script is a little old-fashioned, aren't they? And the Supreme Ancestor gets very surprised and he says, an old man? This is a priceless mid-grade hand-to-hand combat manual, Supreme Chaos Cloud Technique. And Ningtian says, priceless mid-grade hand-to-hand combat manual? Old man, are you trying to scam me? Ancestors, how am I supposed to defend against the descendants who didn't go into the heavenly spiritual domain? And the Supreme Ancestor says, now I'm placing this Supreme Chaos Cloud Technique in your hands. The future of the Supreme Heavenly Domain will now be in your hands. And Ningtian says, Ancestor, do not worry. With this Supreme Chaos Cloud Technique, I'll definitely protect our Supreme Heavenly Domain. And then Qin Haoren shouts and says to the Supreme Ancestor, Old Ancestor, that person isn't the descendant of the Supreme Heavenly Domain. He doesn't deserve to inherit this from you. And Qin Yueme says, right? He's only an annoying brat with an unknown history. And when the Supreme Ancestor comes to know about this, he gets very shocked. But before that, Ningtian takes his technique and says thanks man to Supreme Ancestor. But the Supreme Ancestor says, you impudent little thief, you dare to lie to an ancestor? But Ningtian says, I never said if I'm someone who didn't enter the Supreme Heavenly Domain, but since you said you wanted to give this to me, then you can't take back your words, am I right? And the system says, Inspecting Absorbed Princess Mid-Grade Martial Arts, Supreme Chaos Cloud Fist, 10-fold Comprehension, Supreme Chaos Cloud Fist, Comprehension Successful. And Ningtian learns the Cloud Fist technique very easily with the help of the system. And seeing this, the Supreme Ancestor smiles and he says, forget it, even though he's not a descendant who didn't go up to the Supreme Heavenly Realm, but fate is involved in our meeting. All this is predestined by fate. And the Supreme Ancestor leaves. But then Qin Haoren starts moving towards Ningtian and says to him, you brat. Give us the Supreme Chaos Cloud Fist back. And Yuqin says, Senior Sister, what do we do? The eldest prince is the top of the immortal emperor's realm. That bad guy isn't his enemy, right? And Yueling says, the Supreme Chaos Cloud Fist is still our direct ancestor's famous ending move. Qin Haoren definitely won't let this go. But Ningtian says, have your brains been soaking in water? Whatever I eat, only an idiot would spit it out. And Qin Haoren says, you arrogant little brat, then don't blame me for not being merciful. And Yueling says, Master Ning Shui, you should still give it back, otherwise it won't be able to protect you. So Ningtian says, don't worry, he can't help himself. And Qin Haoren gets angry after listening to Ningtian's words, and he starts releasing his power, and he says, you're rather arrogant. And Yuqin gets scared after seeing Qin Haoren's power, and she says, this is bad. That big bad guy is going to explode. And Yueling says, with his energy, it's no wonder that his power is greater than mine. And Qin Haoren moves forward to kill Ningtian. Then Ning Tian says to the system, System, use God Realm card. And the system says, currently using God Realm card. God Realm card usage complete. You have gained 1-star God Realm physique, usage time, 2 days. And Ning Tian releases his power. And we see that Qin Haoren's attack is not able to hit Ning Tian. Ning Tian has created a barrier, and from inside the barrier Ning Tian is smiling seeing Qin Haoren's condition. Then Qin Haoren makes a hand gesture due to which Qin Haoren falls away and gets injured. And he gets very shocked because Ning Tian's power is very high and he says, Kook. God Realm, isn't he the Earth-kind realm? And the system says, you shock the crowd. Rewarding you with aura cultivation plus 100. And Ning Tian thinks, I never thought this Supreme Chaos Cloud Fist was so powerful. I only used 1/10, and it's already so powerful. Then wouldn't it be possible to copy this Supreme Secret Realm a few times? On the other hand, outside the Secret Realm, the crowd is saying, who knows this time, who would be the one to stand out? And another man says, I think it's the eldest Prince Qin Haoren. He's the strongest person to enter the Secret Realm. And one man says, not necessarily, even in the Supreme Secret Realm, fated chances are important. And then some movement starts happening in the Secret Realm, seeing which the elder is surprised. He is not able to understand what is going to happen. And we see Ning Tian coming out from the gate of the Secret Realm, and the crowd is surprised to see Ning Tian, and they don't know who Ning Tian is? And Ning Tian has a smile on his face. And now Ning Tian has come out of the Secret Realm. And with him many other cultivators also come out of the Secret Realm, but they start falling on each other, and an argument starts between them. Then we see that Yueling and Yuqin also come out of the Secret Realm. And seeing them both, Qin Feng thinks, what happened to you both? How come you both came out together, but you both still got hurt? Then we see Qin Haoren, who is very angry with Ning Tian, and pointing his finger towards Ning Tian he says that bastard lied to the old ancestor's soul, and took the Supreme Chaos Cloud Fist. And Qin Feng gets a little surprised after listening to Qin Haoren and he says, the Supreme Chaos Cloud Fist? And in support of Qin Haoren a man says, the third prince, he also took all of the Secret Realm's treasures and left it completely empty. And the other man says, that's right, I was waiting to stop him from doing something so underhanded, but I gotten beat up. And Qin Haoren says, Father, please teach that brat a lesson. And Ning Tian says, I helped you all clean up the rubbish that was inside the Supreme Secret Realm, and I gave you a facial massage for free. Why do you guys not have a single bit of gratitude? And Qin Haoren says, you have some nerve standing there and not moving. I'm going to end your life. Hide back in the secret crate. And the other man says, right? Capture him. I want him to turn into a pig's head. Then Ning Tian starts running very fast and he says, hey, you think I'm going to be as stupid as you? And seeing Ning Tian running, many cultivators started following Ning Tian. And one man says to Qin Feng, Palace Emperor, what do we do now? And Qin Feng says, how in the world can the things the ancestors left fall into an outsider's hands? Chase him. And Yuqin says, Sister, what do we do? The bad guy is going to be caught, and it would definitely be bad for him. And Yueling says, whether we knew him all along, if Master Ning Shui is caught, I'll do my best to protect him. And we see Ning Tian and he is running very fast, and some people see Ning Tian and say, who is that? So many people are chasing that guy. And a girl says, I think he did something to offend the gods. There are many cultivators behind Ning Tian, but Ning Tian has a smile on his face. Then he looks back and says, holy hell, are the people that didn't go up to the Celestial Pavilion crazy? Why are the people chasing me increasing? And then Holy Sun throws an apple towards Ning Tian which Ning Tian catches. And Holy Sun says to Ning Tian, it's to boost your strength. And Ning Tian thanks Holy Sun and starts eating the apple. And a cultivator says, you still have the mood to eat an apple? You really are that arrogant. So Ning Tian eats the apple and throws it back at him and says to him, come on then, come chase me, if you can catch me I'll let you. 2 hours later. Now there is no place left for Ning Tian to run, and he stands in a corner. And all the cultivators surround him. But Ning Tian says to them, you guys really didn't need to work so hard. And the system says to Ning Tian, System, how long do I still have for the God Realm EXP card? God Realm EXP card, 1 last hour. And all the cultivators are very tired of running. And they take a deep breath and say to Ning Tian, "Run. Try running again. Is this guy a dog? He can run so far. How does it feel, you freak, being caught, and you're still saying, 'You bastard, I'll make you mute after this.'" And all the cultivators move forward to attack Ning Tian. But Ning Tian now gets very angry and he releases his energy, and due to its pressure all the people start flying in the air. And when people see that Ning Tian's cultivation is in the God realm, they get very shocked. And Ning Tian prepares an attack in his hand and says, "Now, it's my turn, isn't it? Palm technique." And Ning Tian attacks them with Thunder Wind Dao. And seeing this, they are very surprised, but then someone stops Ning Tian's attack and saves Qin Haoren from his attack. And the man says he still looks down on the celestial pavilion and is still hurting others. Does he owe something to the people who didn't go up here? And Qin Haoren says, "Lu Yusher, I don't know where that little thief came from, stealing the Supreme Secret Realm's treasures. You should not let him get away." And Lu Yusher says, "I'm in charge of protecting the Celestial Pavilion's orders, and those who dare to disobey this order, I won't let go of easily." And Lu Yusher moves forward to attack Ning Tian, but Ning Tian easily dodges his attack and says to him, "I've beaten Emperor Realm fighters. I'm not afraid of an old man with a Sky King realm." And Ning Tian gets ready to attack him again, and Ning Tian's attack is very dangerous, seeing which Lu Yusher gets very scared and he says, "This energy is ancestral energy?" And Qin Haoren shouts, "How is this possible? You obtained the Supreme Cloud Chaos technique yesterday. How did you train it up to that extent already?" And the system says to Ning Tian, "You shocked the 100th princes. You shocked the Celestial Pavilion cultivators. You shocked Lu Yusher. Rewarding you with a skill card, Berserk Battle Spirit card. Activating Berserk Battle Spirit card." And Ning Tian attacks and says, "Sorry to bother you, everything impossible is happening to me, which means it is possible." And Qin Haoren creates a barrier to stop Ning Tian's attack. And the system says to Ning Tian, "Berserk Battle Spirit card. After use, within 1 hour, fighting ability is doubled. After usage, this card will be unusable." But Ning Tian's attack is very powerful, which Qin Haoren's barrier cannot stop. So Ning Tian's attack hits Qin Haoren, and he falls far away. Then Ning Tian feels that someone is behind him, and Qin Feng is behind Ning Tian, and he says, "This kid's energy is impressive." And Ning Tian thinks, "I finally shocked the God Realm user." And Qin Feng says, "How about you follow me to the forbidden area of the royal palace so we can have a proper discussion." And we see Qin Haoren, who is injured due to Ning Tian's attack, and he says, "Brat, my third royal uncle, is a divine emperor, a powerful being in the sovereign realm. In his hands, you won't escape even with wings." And Qin Feng says, "Silence. This young friend is a guest of the Supreme Divine Kingdom. We should treat him with courtesy." And Ning Tian says, "Haunt. Follow you back? I'd rather." And the system says, "Ding. Trial card of the Heavenly Group has expired." And then Qin Feng starts using his power and tries to suppress Ning Tian. And Ning Tian thinks, "Why does it have to end at this exact moment?" But then someone comes in front of Ning Tian and breaks Qin Feng's suppression. I wonder which great emperor took action. Can you show yourself? And Qin Haoren gets surprised and looks upwards, and he says, "A great emperor has arrived?" And the other man says, "Not only did a sovereign realm expert appear, but now a great emperor has come as well? What kind of day is this? It's so lively." And we see that Queen Mother comes here to save Ning Tian. And seeing Queen Mother, Qin Feng becomes serious and he says, "Master of the Jade Pool?" And Ning Tian says to the Queen Mother, "Why are you here? I thought you had already left." So Queen Mother says, "Since you didn't leave, of course, I wouldn't leave either." And Qin Feng thinks the Master of the Jade Pool is a genuine great emperor expert, whose strength is comparable to the ruler of our divine kingdom. Who exactly is this boy? To have such a powerful figure backing him. And Qin Feng says, "Greetings, Jade Pool Master. May I ask who this young friend is to you?" And Queen Mother says, "What business is it of yours?" And Qin Feng says, no, Qin Feng is just a humble 2-star quasi-emperor and wouldn't dare interfere with the master. I'm merely worried about potential misunderstandings. Sometimes, being overly curious isn't a good thing. And Queen Mother says, you only need to know that I'm helping your supreme divine kingdom. And Qin Feng gets surprised on hearing Queen Mother's words and he says, helping me? By turning your back on me? And then Queen Mother holds Ningtian close to her chest and says to him, if you harm him, even the ruler of the divine kingdom may not be able to protect you. And Ningtian thinks, hey, don't take advantage of the situation. And then someone says, Jade Pool Master, why must you bully the younger generation? And on hearing that man, Queen Mother becomes a little serious. And when the public hears that man, they become very happy and say, the ruler has arrived. The ruler of our kingdom is here. The ruler of the divine kingdom has come. The Jade Pool Master should restrain herself now. And Queen Mother says, so, the ruler of the divine kingdom has come as well. And the divine kingdom ruler says, I understand the situation, Queen Mother of the West. As far as I recall, your Jade Pool sacred land does not have any male disciples. This matter should have nothing to do with you. And Queen Mother says, he may not be my disciple, but today, I'm determined to protect him. And after listening to Queen Mother, the crowd says, he can even make a great emperor personally shield him? Who exactly is this guy? And Yuqin says, senior sister, this person seems extraordinary. And Yueling says, fellow Daoist Ning Shuai, who exactly are you? And Divine Kingdom ruler says, Queen Mother of the West, are yours provoking us? Are you intending to start a war with our supreme divine kingdom? And Queen Mother says, Divine ruler, as I recall, your divine kingdom is at war with the barbarians outside the divine continent, isn't it? Or are you implying that the supreme divine kingdom can afford to offend two great emperors at once? And Divine Kingdom ruler says, what do you mean by that? Then Queen Mother says, behind him is also a female emperor who is highly protective of her own. And after listening to Queen Mother, Divine Kingdom ruler thinks, a female emperor? Could it be her? And Queen Mother says to Ningtian, I'm right, aren't I? And Ningtian says, I just wanted to come quietly, but alas, reality doesn't allow for it. Then Ningtian removes his mask and when they see Ningtian's face, they say, his dash. This boy is actually good looking? And the girls say, truly a man as radiant as jade, unrivaled in the world. Who exactly is he? I must marry him, I figured it out. He's the legendary patriarch of the heavenly demon sect. And when Yueling and Yuqin see Ningtian's real face, they get very shocked, and Yueling says, he's actually the legendary patriarch, Ningtian? And Yuqin says, senior sister? So the legendary patriarch is this handsome. And the system says, you've shocked the princes and princesses. Your looks have astonished the cultivators of the divine continent. Teaching ability upgrade, you're now an imperial mentor. And Ningtian thinks, isn't it just being a bit more handsome? Is it worth all this excitement? And Divine Kingdom ruler thinks, not long ago, sword run from the sword sect injured Ningtian, resulting in the sect's destruction. One heavenly demon sect is already hard enough to deal with. Now with the Jade Pool as well. I'll let this slide for now. The Supreme Divine Kingdom is currently facing internal and external troubles. We mustn't complicate things further. Then Divine Kingdom ruler says, fine. Since it's the Patriarch's honorable visit, all opportunities in the Supreme Secret Realm will be considered a welcome gift. I won't investigate any further. And Queen Mother softly tells Ningtian, Patriarch, you've already gained enough benefits. Now that you've learned it, return the item to them. And Ningtian says, makes sense? Judging by his demeanor, if I don't return it, he might truly go crazy. Fine, I'll give it back to you. And Ningtian gives the secret book to Divine Kingdom ruler. And Divine Kingdom ruler opens the secret book and starts looking at it, but then he sees something which shocks him, and he says to Ningtian in an angry voice, Ningtian, what are you up to? What's in this content? When Ningtian hears Divine Kingdom ruler's words, he gets shocked because he is not able to understand what Divine Kingdom ruler wants to say to him.